Hold on. Marcus, you don't take your foot outside and drill that ball in the
Concrete, welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spiel like? Back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know what might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So, All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
What's up, my beautiful people?
People like, man, what they doing? It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Tuesday evening.
To be exact.
Yeah,
right.
We like Channel 7 News. We come on at 4:32. We come on at 4:30 sometime. What's up, Liv? What's going on, big dog?
Oh man, nothing much. Just been busy, man. You know, with the holidays. You know, that's why we wasn't, on. You know, you had the Christmas holiday coming, the break came, and now New Year's break. And the reason why we jumped on now because we're not going to be able to come on tomorrow either because, we both got some things to take care of, but we will be back in effect next Wednesday for sure. Wednesday. But yeah, man, everything is good, man. Happy New Year to you and your
happy
family.
New Year to you too, your family as well, man. And thanks, Christmas and Thanksgiving, all that stuff. I'm just glad it's over. Right, I don't want to go in my pocket no more for nothing else, man. I want to keep my wallet close to me.
keep it close to you, man, because you got them boys. You got boys, man. How many boys you got again?
5, man.
Woo! But yeah,
hey,
man.
Real quick, man. We want to send some prayers out to Damar Hamlin's family.
No doubt.
The kid who had cardiac arrest at the football game last night.
Yeah,
send some prayers out to his family. Everybody that watched it. It was just, people.
Anybody, like if you played any kind of sport, or you just got that feeling for another person. I actually watched, some of it, and it was really like. I felt the pain, of his teammates, when they gathered around, and it made me cry, because that could have been my family member. That could have been a family member of mine. So it wasn't about the football no more. It's about his well-being, after you saw what happened. And yeah, man, I just hope and pray that he pulls through, man. I really do. I hope and pray that he pulls through, man. And football is secondary. His life is at stake. So that's way more important than in any football game.
Well, to the people who saw it and the people who was touched by it, overnight his charity was able to raise $3 million.
Yeah.
So that just speaks to people, man. Well, I guarantee you, all those people wasn't black. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but
race goes out the door when it comes to stuff like this.
But it goes to show you, man, that a lot of athletes are not out for the publicity.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing this. He's all about trying to uplift this community and help kids that was in need of toys. And he started a foundation. He started a foundation. But, what we see is his foundation was probably only touching his region.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to him made everybody start going and looking and seeing how they can be a part of something that he was attached to.
Right.
And it got all the way up to $4 million.
Wow.
$4 million, man. And so that's going to help a lot of kids. But at the same time, I'd rather see him here to pass out those toys to those young kids. I'd rather see him here. Yeah, but yeah, man, I know we wanted to talk about some things.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Did you get a chance to check your Twitter? I just copied you on Twitter.
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, man.
Okay, I'm gonna read it to you real quick. Then I was reading something, and I want to talk to you about it because I know you've been around this game and you've been recruited a few times. I think you had to come office, right?
Well, we got some people chiming in already about it.
Oh yeah, what they said? Put it up. Put it up. What they got?
Here you go. We got one right there.
We had to get our clout and cred at the Playground Neighborhood High School. As KG said, AAU killed playing at the park. Cancel Skip Bayless. Oh man, that's the hashtag. Ooh man, good subject. Overrated hype, AAU politics, etc. What was the topic again on there that you put out there? Let me go look at that again.
It was basically about the college rankings, 5-star rankings and college choices. Is it adding up? Think about this.
Is it adding up? Okay, yeah. That's exactly what and then this coach, I got him off Twitter. He said, this is the worst time in the history of grassroots basketball to recruit via the rankings. He says, shit is going to get you fired. Find eyes and intel you trust and go evaluate these players. It ain't adding up in these games.
Yeah. I said, and I will say this, and when the game has changed, how about that? Let's say this, from when the era that, the greats played before, the Mark Aguirres, the Isaiah Thomas, myself, Benji Wilson, we can keep going about the guys that became before us in the rankings and what it took, for them. It was actually college eyes in the gym watching. It wasn't too many pamphlets.
Right.
You see of these rankings right off the top. He's a 4-star, he's a 5-star. It wasn't all that back then. It was about let my eyes see it for myself. These college coaches.
Let me stop you right quick. Let me ask you something. So you telling me basically when they looking at these pamphlets, automatically when they see this 5-star and this 3-star, they giving this 5-star kid the look before they even look at this 3 and 2-star kid. Just because of the paper.
Because of the stars. How many stars he has behind him. Now, I'm not saying all coaches do this, but the majority, I'm going to say, do.
Okay.
They lazy. I don't want to. I'd rather pay my little whatever fee they pay for these booklets to get these profiles of these young men, right? And they look through them. They might look at a video or two, but anybody can make up a special video and make it pretty.
Have you ever seen a Busters video?
Nah.
Everybody video show they cold and stuff.
Come on, man. You can see that. But there's some college coaches out there to do their homework. Say, do you have a full video so I can see really the whole game of you playing? So I'm not knocking. That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking all coaches. But majority of the coaches, they don't have time no more, man, to go out there and sit there and watch, games and write up notes about them and then get back to their office and their, setting with all of their college coaches, the assistant coaches and all, and start talking about a player.
Right.
They don't do that no more.
What are they doing with their time then?
Going to these AAU circuit games, man, and having a good old time. Man, they love the Peach Jam. Let's go to the Peach Jam, man. It's like a party for the coaches. And
Peach Jam, they down there dragging and partying.
Hey, man. Hey, you ain't heard it from me.
That's unfortunate, man, because what's happening is there's a lot of kids that's not being seen. And I want to piggyback off what you're saying. So basically, if they're looking at this list of talent in this book, they're not just going to walk in the gym and see a raw game and just go see some players play. You see what I'm saying? Because when you go in these gyms, there's multiple games going on. So if I'm a coach, I'm going to go watch a game on each floor. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just go randomly watch. Right. That's how you find kids, right?
Right. I still do it To this day, I'll go to a game. I'm not trying to recruit for anything, but I'll go just to watch some good basketball. And then I'll put my eyes on there on a kid and I'll say to him, man, you got some game, man. Keep
Right.
working. You can get better and this and that. Right.
Right.
But then you
Right.
have some people just say straight up, they got their cameras and they shooting the videos. And then they'll tell the kid, look here, I can make a video for you if you give me this amount of money. Right. And then they make these videos, they come and follow them. And then they put
Right.
this out there. And now a recruiter gets it.
Right.
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 So the recruiter gets the videos. And then the recruiter says, man, I'm just going to throw a name out you. Man, Charles Williams, man, he cold. Right.
Right.
But the recruiter never saw him.
You never
He
saw
just
him.
saw the video.
Right.
Right. So then when he gets a chance, an opportunity to see the kid, because he already done put him out there now.
Right.
Because he saw the video, he put it on his social media page because he had 1 million followers.
Right.
Right. The kid had 1 million followers. So the recruiter says, man, I'm going to put him out there. Right. And then he sees him. He can't backtrack it.
He can't backtrack.
He can't backtrack it because he already put him out there. This dude a stone cold killer out there on the court.
Right. Right.
Right. And then when he finds out, he goes and see him with his eyes. Man, that kid ain't even like that.
He ain't even like that.
He ain't even like that.
But he can't
But he
backtrack.
already put it out. He can't backtrack it.
So
That's
they
why
keep, they keep that hype behind
Come
them.
on, man. It's all hype. It's all hype. Hype sells. Think about it. Hype sells. And I'll go even a step further, Bob, on, and we touched on this before. Not only are they doing that, they looking at how many followers you have. They got
so you telling me
Come
recruiters going to kids' social media pages to see how many followers they got to recruit them?
Come on, think about it, Bob. If I got a kid, let's say if I'm a basketball recruiter, like I'm trying to get some kids to come to my school, right?
Right.
I may see a kid that has 5,000 followers, but got mad game.
Right.
And then I got this other kid on the other side that's got 1 million followers, that his game is slightly under that kid that got the 5,000 followers.
Okay.
I go back to my college coach, my head coach, and say, man, that kid, he got a lot of hype. He got 1 million followers. My coach is probably going to tell me we need to get that kid.
So you telling me the coach gonna tell you to get the kids with 1 million followers that's not that good over the kid who don't have 1 million followers, but just cold? Why would they do that though?
Because the followers, Bob, think about this. The followers are going to become fans of that university.
Oh, the followers.
You feel me?
Fans.
So it's a lot of stuff, man, that's going on that people, you got to understand how this stuff all works, you know,
Right.
because if I got 1 million followers and I put myself out there, right, and I'm a high school kid, can you imagine if I had mad game, what would happen? Think about this. They said Zion, what's his name? Zion Williams, right?
Right.
He had 1 million followers in high school.
He had 1 million, man.
Look what happened. They blew that kid up.
They blew him up, and he went to the first. Yeah, he went to Duke. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't hard to tell, man. It ain't hard to tell. You can see a lot of this stuff, man, that you see now. It ain't even about you can lace them up and you can get down between those lines. It's a business, man. It's a business. And it wasn't a business. Well, I would say it wasn't a business for kids, you know, the youth. Now it's a business for the youth because now they can get paid off their image and likeness.
Right, right.
Before, it was all about the universities. How much money I can get. How much money I can get.
So the university was underhandedly recruiting these kids with all these followers just to sell merchandise.
Come on, man.
And then because a lot of these kids are not getting off the bench, but they over at the schools.
Now let's talk about what you wanted to talk about, which is these five-star kids going to these universities and not performing, right? And now let's talk about that, Bob. Right.
Well, that's another thing he alluded to.
Right.
Like they going to the transfer portal, getting these high major kids who with these names, a lot of them, and then they get into the school still laying an egg.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say kids are laying an egg. I'm gonna say this:
Okay.
basketball, especially in college,
Mm-hmm.
they do not have the time like they used to develop kids, right? Usually kids stay 2 to 3 years,
Right.
1 to 2, 3 years, right? To get developed. So now that's out the window
Right.
because you got what? One and dones.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Mm-hmm.
one and dones coming now. So now the college coaches are saying, I got to do something now for this kid while I still have him. I don't
Okay.
have the time to develop this kid, but I know I can win with him. So let's see how we can make this work.
Okay.
It doesn't happen for all kids, right? But all kids look at it as if such and such did it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Right.
show out in college and then be the number 1 or number 2 or number 5 draft pick, right? And then I get to the NBA and I'm going to show up and show out. It doesn't happen for all of those players. You
Mm-mm.
got a very select few that actually happens to, right? You could think about the class that Zion came out with, Zion Williams, right? Think
Mm-hmm.
about his class and you tell me who's really killing, who's really dominating in that class. I'll wait.
That's Ja Morant,
Okay.
and then the ball boy, right?
Alonzo?
No, Leangelo, right? Didn't they come out together?
Oh, man, I'm just Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish, right? Yeah.
Did he come out in that class?
What class was that?
RJ Barrett come out that class?
Yeah, sure did.
I'm just saying, like, think about, are they superstars?
Nah,
No. John Morant, he's on his way,
he on his way.
right? Zion, he's on his way. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the hype that these kids get put on this stage, and a lot of them don't live up to that on the next level, right? So why, when college coaches recruit these kids and they know they one and done, they don't develop them. So now they get to the NBA. Now the NBA is looking at them like, shh, now we got to try to develop them. So you send guys like Wiseman for the Golden State Warriors back and forth through the G League.
Mm-hmm.
He needs reps. He needs development.
Yeah.
But you just spent all that money on him because you drafted him at the number 2 pick.
Yeah, you're right. And
That's
he
what's
can't
going
get
on.
his foot. He can't get his foot for nothing right now.
But that's what's going on, kid. That's what's going on right now. So it's not about the talent, really. It's not. It's a business decision now.
Right. Do
What
we
can
want
I-
to develop these kids?
Do we want to take our time and develop? But that's what the G League was there for. So my
Right.
thing is, when you got kids that been there, that put that time in college, that spent 2, 3, 4 years, they not getting the same opportunity because they're of their age. If you stay in college for 4 years, how old would you be?
24?
23, 24,
Yeah.
maybe?
Right.
22 if you're lucky, right? You're super smart. 22 years old.
Right.
They're looking at that. It's too old.
22, 23 is too old.
They looking at it like that,
Wow.
right? So now you getting these kids that's coming, that one and done is 19 years old. 19 years old. So I got enough time to develop him.
But I mean, if I'm a general manager and I'm looking at the NBA right now, the young teams are not winning. It's these old veteran teams that's winning.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Bob. And that's been going on for ages.
The veteran teams is one
The
of
veteran
the
teams,
is
the
winning the
veteran
title.
teams are going to win. But the young kids are exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Who you see all the highlights of?
Yeah.
Those young guys.
Yeah. That's all
Your
you
Trey
see.
Youngs, your John Morants.
Ja Morant. What's the kid name over there in OKC?
OKC. I don't know who that is, Bob.
Oh, yeah, they got a killer over there. My son, I'm always talking about that boy.
Kill.
Gilchrist or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah. Alexander.
Alexander. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the boy, man, scored 71 last night for Cleveland.
Spider. But think about this, man. College is missing out, right, on developing these kids, because when you recruit them, you're telling them, I know you want it done. You have to say that to those 5-star players, because those 5-star players are thinking, I got to go to the league.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get there quick.
Let me ask you, how many 5-star players is it annually, though? It depends. Is it a certain amount that it could be?
No, man, you can name whoever you want. Me and you can start a recruiting service right now and say, man, this kid is a 5-star.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah. we strictly do Chicago and Florida.
Man, come on. So think about this, man. And there's some good recruiters out here. I'm not going to say it. There's some good ranking people that got their own ranking services that really enjoy it and really like to go out and see and scout and evaluate kids. There's some guys that love to do that.
Right.
But it's also some guys that they'd rather just go on that social media and look at some kids, think about whoever's getting ranked, and go on some of these EYBL websites and Adidas websites to see
if the names lining up together. Because they all in cahoots, right?
See who's who, man. Right? And
do they make money from that?
Yeah, they make money.
So how do they make the money? The kids pay?
The kids pay to be on their services, and the college coaches also pay them to get the information. That's why I said it's easy for college coaches now, because I ain't got to do nothing but just sit back and relax, and hopefully somebody will ring my email. Bing! Oh, I got another one.
Or they just follow the hot kid, right? Whoever ringing, like in Monty Bates, that type. If your name start ringing, they just follow you, right? Is that it too?
They can do that too. Man, no. Recruiting game is all changed. I can follow with the number one player in the country. If I was a college coach, you got the right to follow them, right? I'll follow you, and you already like me as a coach, as a program, my school. You see my name pop up on your screen as a follower. Man, I got such and such following me. You don't even know I already wanted to go there. Now he's following me. Man, these college coaches know what they're doing, man.
They like used car salesmen.
Man, they know what they're doing, man.
Is it any sincerity in it though, man? I mean,
that's what been taken out, Bob. That has been taken out, man. Because you can't. It's just like in a relationship, you can't feel that person's sincerity if they not really talking. Remember, we used to talk on the phone and all this. Now it's just social media. You can just put a little heart right beside somebody's comment and say, I like you, right?
And you feel warm.
Right. The person like, oh, Bobby loves me. Oh, and it's not sincere, right? So you don't feel that connection. You don't feel that connection. But that's what we living in. That's the generation we living in, social media, man. And you either be with it or you're not.
It's messed up in a lot of respects, because you don't know what's what now.
Right.
When a celebrity follows you, it's a choosing signal. Alice, Mississippi Slam, what's up with it, my man? Mr. Heart of Hollywood, International Heart of Hollywood magazine model. What's up, babe boy? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Jimmy Red, what's up with it, man? How you doing, my brother? Happy New Year, man.
Man,
we got more.
We got some people. We got some
microwave
people.
effect. Just add water, press water, man, and it should be ready.
I use that one all the time, man. I use the microwave. I use that one all the time, Bob. It's like this generation. I do believe they are microwave. they want the microwave success. You know, they don't want to work hard. You know, it's like when you think about your grandmother, when your grandmother used to cook dinner, she prepared it, right? She seasoned it up, right?
Yeah.
She put the timer, she put the timer on. Oh, it's gonna take 3 hours. Ding, put that in there, right? She preheat the oven, right? She put the food in there. She comes back, peeps in there, looks at it. Oh, no, it ain't ready yet. But this generation, man, let me go to the stove, boom, pop it up, boom, take the wrapping out, boom, stick it in the microwave, boom, boom. I'm eating.
I got a crossover.
I'm eating, right? My game is tight. My game is tight. And it's just not, it's not like that no more, man. When we used to really put that work in, it's like, man.
Well, you know, the purity is gone.
Fact.
Nobody's playing it for the love. You know, a lot of people say they're playing it for the love, but nobody's really playing it for the love of it anymore.
Look at that one.
What's worse than the microwave generation? The air fryer generation.
That's a good one. I like that one. The air fryer. I'm gonna start using that one. The air fryer.
The air fryer generation beat the microwave generation. Okay. What else you got? No defense at all. You know, they let certain people play defense, like Patrick Beverly. You know, they let certain people play defense, but it's definitely freedom of movement. And I told somebody the other day that I said, I know I got cursed out, but I said Steph Curry wouldn't have been Steph Curry back in the days if the freedom of movement rule wasn't in, because of their ability to be able to put their hands on you and turn on defense. It gets worse. The Pop-Tart generation.
Hey, I used to like me some Pop-Tarts though, man. The Pop-Tarts. I used to like those Pop-Tarts, man.
Crack that mug open, go straight to the middle. Go right to where the berries at.
Man.
It's this flat.
Man. But you know, Bob, and some of our listeners, you know, I'm pretty sure they agree that it's not the same, right? And we have to really just deal with it, because I don't think this is going anywhere. It's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I got a family member that's hooping, that's playing ball, you know, and I try to instill in him, you know, the work ethic. You know, you got to have the preparation. It's got to be on point. Right. You know, I try to school him on a lot, and he gets mad at me at times because he's a part of that generation. He's a part of this generation. But I told him it's my duty to do that.
Yeah, whether it hurt or not, it's the truth.
Yes, I have to give it to you the way I know how to give it to you. You know, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't tell you great. You got to earn it. You have to put that work in. You have to do it, and until you get to where you need to be. Yeah. And if you don't get it, then at least you know you gave it your all. And that's the motto that I live by, and I tell kids that all the time. If you put the work in, don't matter what. If you're not ranked or anything, if you put the work in, if you got somebody that has a relationship or has some kind of connections, they will get you to where you need to be.
Yeah. You know, it's another phrase I always throw at my sons. I say, man, you can either do it the slow route or the ski mask way. You know, ski mask way is just the same as microwave. You don't want to work. You just want to take what you want right then and there. It just don't work like that, man. You won't have a great appreciation.
Right.
Kids scared to get embarrassed. They don't have the dog in them to work and come back stronger.
I agree with Jimmy on this one. I really do. I really do, because I didn't seen it. I didn't seen it.
Yeah.
It may be two or three good basketball players on one court playing against each other, amongst each other, right? I'm not going to play defense because I don't want him to cross me over, because I done seen his crossover videos. I done seen him highlight videos of him crossing over. Instead of saying, you know what, let me put my defensive skills against his crossover and see what happens.
Right.
They don't want to do that because they might get embarrassed.
They don't want to get embarrassed.
It's gonna be all through social media. You know, people get a hold of that. They're gonna put that up there.
Right. We didn't care.
We didn't care.
We didn't care.
We didn't. You know how many
you're gonna have
times
to cross me over 1,000 times.
Come on, man. It's like this. You know, you heard this saying before. Man, you dunked on me, you're gonna have to keep dunking on me.
every
Or you
time.
block my shot, you're gonna have to
I had
keep
to block
blocking
it
this
every
shot.
time.
Come
You
on.
have to. It was a universal language we spoke back then because we all played in the concrete.
Right.
These dudes out here coaching AAU that ain't balled high school hoops and telling the hyper kids up that they are not that good.
Terry, my man, Terry. You better be
Wow.
careful, man, Terry. You out there pushing some buttons, Terry. Terry, you out there pushing some buttons, man.
Yeah,
So,
man.
there's some
They
people gonna be
want
like,
that.
there's some people be like, oh, what that little dude from Different Strokes? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about,
Yeah,
Willis?
yeah. I put a post up there real quick and I said I felt like this. I said if Jabari Parker would have played the villain, Marcus, and like me and you was talking about, right? How coaches always go easy on the asshole teammate, right? You done had teammates show up, didn't do shit, cuss the coach out. They love them. But because Jabari was such a good kid and such a stand-up kid, the NBA was able to play a narrative on him that he didn't like playing defense. If he'd have said, man, fuck y'all defense, fuck all you bitches, fuck all you hoes, excuse my language, they'd have been like, oh no, Jabari, come on, play for us. Is it that they want to see us like that?
I don't know, Bob, but you kind of think that though, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you're wondering, Jabari is a great kid,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
prolific scorer. I mean, can
Yeah.
score on all three levels,
One of the
inside, outside.
best.
Come on. But you mean to tell me this? I'm assuming he's 27, maybe 27 years old.
Right.
How old is he?
About 27.
Maybe
Yeah.
27 years old, and he can't get another shot to be in the league, to provide, to do something that he loves to do.
He's been out of the league for a minute now, at least what, a year, two?
So you think about that, huh, Bob? You thought about that you had to be an a-hole,
An asshole.
somebody that is very disrespectful,
and belligerent. A la Marcus Cousins.
to get to where he needs to be.
Yeah,
I think those days are over with too, though, Bob. And I don't think DeMarcus Cousins is in the league no more.
Well, he's out because of bad knees. Hey, he tore everything up. You better believe if he could still run up and down that court and get him some time, they'd play him.
Well, somebody from the Golden State Warriors said that about him. I read that somewhere, that the reason why he's not back to where he needs to be is because of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because of his mouth. So it's crazy. Jimmy Red says this. Politics.
Yeah. That's
Jabari
true.
Parker has the skills to still be playing in the NBA and in somebody's rotation.
Starting. He's a veteran.
I'm not saying starting, right? Because these general managers now are looking at, he can be a rotation guy right now, right?
Okay.
So let's think about a rotation guy. He'll be a rotation guy. You mean to tell me he can't be a rotation guy to get you 12, 15 points off the bench? And if he's on fire, 20 points or better?
He can definitely do that, man.
The kid loves basketball. He needs to be playing.
I agree, man. I agree. I just think the guys like him, we had talked about that a little bit. When you're too nice, even coaches and general managers and everybody walk over you.
Bob, I'll put it out there because I know him and I believe in him. I'll put Jabari Parker up against any 3 or 4 man in the NBA, and he will give them some buckets.
Yes, he will.
And he might beat majority of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there. He will probably beat the majority of the players that's playing the 3 and the 4 in the NBA.
We both know that. So my question, spin it back on you. Why is he not in there? What do you think it is? What is it? Was it the comment that he made about not playing defense? Was that it? Was that the narrative that they put out on him?
I think that has something to do with it. I don't know for sure, but I think that probably do play a part in it, Bob, because And he could have been saying it in a joking manner, like, man, hey, who does play defense,
Right.
you know? And then you use that narrative and twist it to what you want. Oh, Jabari Parker says you don't have to play defense in the league, and you can do this. You know, you really think about this. Who is playing defense? Who is really locking up
It's not many people, man, that's locking up at all, bro.
on the defensive end? There you go, Bob.
Is Terrence Shannon Jr. a little overrated? Oh, you talking about the kid for Illinois?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him enough to be able to get that assessment. I haven't seen him enough.
Well, I'm gonna say this about the kid. He came a long way, right? He was a football player. I think he played basketball in high school and football at Lincoln Park. He didn't get a lot of recruiting. He didn't get to that buzz. He's always been a hard worker, always worked his butt off. And he's still doing that to this day, right? And then when you get a taste, of that success, he had some good games with the University of Illinois, some good games. And when you cannot be who you are, and then you try to be someone you're not, it hurts you.
What do you mean when you're trying to be someone?
Think about this. This media, these rankings and these
They got him.
they
Trying
put
to
this
make him.
they put this stuff out there. Oh, you can't shoot 3-pointers. You need to work on your 3-pointers. And then you become that. His game is getting downhill to the basket.
Right.
Right. His game is putting pressure on people. Right. That's his game. And you may shoot a couple threes. This what I would do if I was, let's say if I was in his entourage, right? His entourage. I was part of his clique. I'll be like, you know what, man? I only need you to shoot 2 or 3 threes a game.
Okay.
2 or 3. And if you cooking, maybe throw in 4 or 5. I don't need you jacking up all those threes, because if you don't make them, guess who's gonna look bad?
You're gonna make you look bad.
You're gonna look bad. Yeah. Right. So I always tell, do you, be you.
Play your game.
Yeah, Ron said this. Look, Ron just said it. I didn't see this comment.
Ron, look. So exposed to the first 2 weeks, but then he can't hit a jumper if he tried.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying, you got to think about this. Some people put things out and these kids start to believe in it, right?
Yeah.
My shot is good, right? And they said he's been putting in thousands of shots. I'm not knocking that, right? My thing is, be you. Don't let no one change who you are.
Right. And that's hard to do. Like DeRozan, they need to take a page out of DeRozan's book. DeRozan has not changed with the game.
No, he doesn't shoot a whole lot of 3-pointers.
No,
he
maybe
not,
2.
And he will not.
No.
He knows he's going to get you at that free throw line extension,
in
that extended area, and he's going to work you.
Yeah, and that's what makes him the GOAT that he is in his lane. I mean, he presently leads the league in the mid-range game, so.
Think about this, though, Bob. Kevin Durant, to me, probably is one of the best scorers in this generation, in this era. He don't shoot a whole lot of threes.
Kevin Durant.
Right. He shoots them, but he ain't shooting a whole bunch of them. He getting you in that mid-range. He's what they call a three level scorer. He's gonna get you the 3. He's gonna get you the midi, and he's gonna get you in the post. Right. That's what I think the game should be. The game always should be like this.
Right.
But we got so many kids that got caught up in that Steph Curry era when he started coming and jacking those threes. And everybody said, I want to be like Steph.
Yeah, Steph changed the game.
And then you start putting the people, so-called analytical people, the analytics, who probably never played a game of basketball in a day of their life. But they want to talk about kids. Here you go, a good one for you, Bob.
Okay. Fellas, I love Calipari, but he keeps saying this and that. Why the team not playing well? When is he going to look himself in the mirror and point himself as the problem? People say he just about getting players in the league, but he has got one title in 10 years with Anthony Davis. When will people put the heat on him? Sorry for this long post. Hoop Scoop, it's amazing that you would say that, man. I saw somebody else post that on their page. They saying they calling for him to step down. They say he's overexceeded the time over there in Kentucky, and it's time for him to pass the reign to a new generation. Because he's only won one title. You're right. He's all talk.
But I'm going to talk about the politics of it now. He did what he said he was going to do. He was going to get DePaul. He was going to get Kentucky back on the tip of people's tongue.
He did it.
And he did it. Remember, before he got there, Kentucky wasn't being talked about no more. They was saying Kentucky ain't gonna never do anything no more.
Right. You're right.
He came, he started putting them one and dones out when the NBA started saying we're gonna let kids go 1 year of college and come into the NBA. Right. He started selling that to kids, especially your 5-star and your national rank top 10, top 20 kids. You come to me, I'm going to let you play for 1 year, and then you can go off to the NBA.
And he did it. He started the one and done run, didn't he?
And then you think about this, Hoop Scoop. Me and Bob was just talking about this. It's no development. So now you're not getting those Anthony Davis. You're not getting those players that you were getting when you won those championships. So now you got to develop.
Was AD? He stayed 2 years and won.
Man, I think he was gone 1 year.
Okay, because he also played with another big guy that was over there.
Who?
What was the other guy?
Gilchrist,
yeah.
Yeah. He played with him.
He played with Charlotte for a minute. I don't think Gilchrist in the league no more, right?
No, but he got his money.
He sure did.
He got his money.
He got
his money.
Yeah, man. Live. Stephen Bardo praised you on his live the other day. Someone asked, were you ahead of your time? He said, looking back, you might have picked the wrong school, but he gave you love. Liv, you know you didn't answer this question a
million times, but
go ahead, speak it, Liv. It's 2023.
Steve basically, man, and I say this, man, with genuinely, I love the University of Illinois. I did, But was that the right school for me to play basketball? Probably not. Probably not. The Big Ten will be and always will be a physical type of conference. You got your Michigan States, you look at them, they always there. I should have went to somewhere where they run, go up and down, fast pace. That would have suited me better. But I did get an opportunity to play with some great players at the university. I would say that.
Right. You got some lifetime brothers over there.
Yeah. Those are my guys,
Yeah.
And they always used to tell me that.
Yeah.
And I just, I was cut from that cloth, man. You made that decision to go here, stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with it. But did I make the right choice? Me and Derek Coleman talks about this all the time. Derek Coleman was my guy. He hosted me when I went to Syracuse. And then I hear stories about Dennis Scott. It's crazy, man. Dennis Scott, Kenny Anderson. All those guys were thinking about going to Syracuse. Can you imagine that?
That would have been nasty.
Wow.
Y'all done won multiple what they call them, NCAA type championships.
Man, think about that.
Y'all would have needed. You think y'all would have needed another ball?
No, but when you play the game of basketball and you know how to play the game of basketball, it's easy, man. To play with another elite player, to play with 5 elite players. It's fun.
Because the ball is hot potato.
I played, and a lot of people remember this name, Lloyd Sweet Pea Daniels. I got an opportunity to play with him, man. And he was ranked number 1 in 87, actually, until he got in some trouble or whatever happened. Before I jumped on the scene, it was people were talking about. The hype was all Lloyd Daniels from New York. And I got an opportunity to play with my brother, man, Lloyd Daniels in Puerto Rico. Me and him on the same team, 6'7", 6'7". We both 6'7", 6'8", right? Doing our thing.
Hey,
we would say stuff like this, Bob. All right, Lib, it's your turn to go to work. All right, Sweet Pea, it's your turn. It wasn't no whose team it is or who's gonna ball out. He was getting his 20 plus, and I was getting my 20 plus.
Hey, they tried to give him a chance, boy. They brought him to San Antonio, remember?
That's my dude, man. Can't nobody say nothing about those guys that I played with that was ranked, man, because those guys did what they supposed to do when we got it between those lines. You think about Dennis Scott, he balled out. You think about Sweet Pea, he balled out. You think about Sean Higgins, he balled out. Those guys were balling, man.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you may have chosen the wrong schools.
But right? You can't beat the experiences, though.
You can't beat college experience, no. But I went, that's what I said. Illinois was
flying
great.
The line 19, bro.
I mean, to be a part of a historic team like that gets a nickname by the great Dick Vitale, the Flying Illini. He gave that name, right, to become one of the most liked teams,
loved, man,
to ever come out of the university.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, let's just talk. Let's say college sports, period. Y'all was one of those rock star teams, man. Was people waiting outside for y'all buses and stuff like that when y'all pull up, man? Like crazy. Y'all had y'all Walkmans on back then. Old school Walkman.
With the cassette tape. Yeah, man. And you got your boy, you done got, for the Chicagoans, that WBMX, mixtape. You got your mixtape, Rocket. You got your it, so man, it was tight, man. And I think about basketball a lot, man, and I think about the old times too when I played and playing at the University of Illinois with Lou Henson. Rest his soul right now, but he's no longer with us, Lou Henson. And Jimmy Collins, the great Jimmy Collins, he's the one that, to me, that spearheaded everything that went on with that 89 team. He was the one that spearheaded.
What was the impact of Jimmy Collins on Chicago basketball, in your opinion? If you had to define him in a short sentence, what was his impact on all the players? What was his span? How long did he span?
He knew the streets. Man, the streets, you already connected. Think about this. The streets of Chicago. Jimmy Collins was a parole officer or a probation officer. One of them. I can't remember which one he was. But anyway, he was that guy that already had connections with neighborhoods, right? So if he pops up in your neighborhood, you already know that's a cool dude. That's Jimmy Collins, right?
Right.
And then he comes in there and talks his talk. You're like, man, he's like one of us. Yeah. He's just like one of us. So he already had that, and he built those relationships with those high school coaches too when he got into the game. And I remember him telling me this story that, wait, somebody said, I filmed. Yeah, that's my man, Don Hoon. But what was he talking about?
Jimmy Collins.
Jimmy Collins.
He said he'd come down there and talk to he knew the coaches and come down there, talk the language.
He would talk. He knew how to talk to those college, high school coaches. and he built those relationships with them. So when it was time for him to come back, to circle back around, he knew who to go to. He knew he could go to Cox. He knew he could go to Bob Hambrick.
They hung out together though, didn't they?
They all hung out. All the coaches hung out. I don't know how it is.
Right?
I don't know how it is now.
They played ball together for years before Hambrick passed away.
Cox didn't play no ball.
Okay.
Cox ain't play no ball. I'm gonna tell you that now.
For Cox did who?
Cox ain't pick up no basketball and try to shoot any hoops.
Okay.
Right. Cox will be in that basement, in his basement playing that sax.
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 Jazz man.
Yeah, man. But you think about those eras, right? You know, from the Mark Aguirres and the Terry Cummings when they were playing, and they were playing with their college coaches and doing all these great things in Chicago, and Isaiah Thomas. Whatever happened, right? Who dropped the ball on teaching our kids the fundamentals? Because if you think about it, and I'm gonna give my man roses while he's still here, and I'm so torn up that I didn't get a chance to do that with Hamp too. To say, I appreciate you because you were all about the kids. I appreciate you because you was all about the development of a kid. I appreciate you because it wasn't about yourself. You thought about others. How are you going to pick me up when you know my mom couldn't pay for me to come to you? Right? He would come to the projects and pick us up. Him and Michael Clark. And my man Hope. Dynasty. These are the players and these are the people that poured inside of me to make me who I am today. Because they saw something. My man Hut from the Robert Taylors, the whole. He had a team called the Lakers. I played on that team. It's just when you have people, especially elderly people who love basketball but want to find a way to give back, he would come and get me to take me to Washington Park to hoop. And we would stay at that gym from 8 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. hooping.
Just all day, man.
People coming in there watching, man. I got to see you put on the show. Or I got to see this guy put on the show today. I miss those days. And it's sad that our kids don't have that opportunity to have somebody like a Hamp, like a Michael Clark, like a Hope, like
There's
a
still
Mel,
guys out here doing
like a Mel Davis.
Who's the guys out there doing that?
No, Bob, think about this, man. I'm not through talking, man. Like, this is a touching story, subject for me, right? Because
go.
It's about the money now.
Oh.
It's about the money. Those guys weren't getting paid a dime. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. You don't hear me.
Dang.
Think about this. Those guys weren't getting paid a dime. They were spending their money out of their pockets, putting gas in their tanks, driving all through the city, taking us to play basketball, to teach us the game of basketball. Who's doing that, Bob? You just said it out your mouth. Who's doing it? You said there's people out there doing it. They're not worried about money in their pockets. Not worried about money in their pockets.
Ain't nobody doing it. Ain't nobody doing it.
I just want to see you make it, kid. And I ain't talking about to the NBA. I'm talking about I just want to see you make it out of the hood.
Right.
Who's doing that?
You're right. We had people like that, man. Back then there was more stronger black men in the community.
I think you're right. You're right.
Because I had a plethora of them in my neighborhood and growing up in the church and all the schools and all that. There was always somebody there to pick up this gap. We didn't have enough time to slack. There was always somebody. As soon as we get passed off for one person, somebody else coming right now. Hey, what you got going on? Yeah, what you doing? So.
And it was always, and they always hold, even though we were doing our thing. Some of us was doing our thing. They would always pull your coattail too on some things. Look at, man, I know what you're doing, man. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just don't have that no more. I think in this era that we living in, it's like people are scared or afraid to say something because they don't know the consequences that's going to come behind it, because these kids nowadays be carrying weapons. What you
Yeah, and
talking
I
about,
think
OG?
the drop off also comes with the non-support from parents. So when kids know that they can come home and tell their parents anything, then hey, Tyrone Carter, you definitely telling the truth, Marcus. Our coach at Robeson did that for us, taking us to north side to the south side almost every day. Yeah.
My man, that's my man,
Mhm.
TC.
Yeah.
TC,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother.
Well, you figure they had a van. A lot of coaches back then, they
They
pick
did.
everybody
Contact a
up,
van.
drive you around that rack glass van, man, drop everybody off. Last person on the van, man,
And,
Coach hungry. He finna go get something. You keep with him.
we didn't care about being all tight together in
Nope.
that van.
It'd be 88 of us in the damn van, man. I remember
Dudes,
in the
man,
elementary school
like
and all that.
smashed up in Cox van. I remember that, man. People
Yeah.
laying on the floor in the middle of the bucket.
Sure was.
The pilot seats he had, man, and all that, man. It was like the bucket seats. We was like, man, we here.
Yeah.
He put on that jazz music and we just rolling. We rolling.
Wow.
But
You going back now, bro.
We just don't hear that no more.
And I think that
hurt
that hurt our young men though, because they don't get a chance to be young men. They got to grow up so fast with all this violence and drugs and money and all of that. I was having that conversation with my son Jordan. I said, Jordan, the average 24-year-old broke as hell.
Yeah.
Right, Led? Unless you're a professional athlete, a rapper, singer, the average 24-year-old don't have a lot of money.
And you guys used to love it, right, Bob? You love saying this out your mouth, Bob. You still do it to this day. Man, I'm from the hundreds, the wild hundreds, right?
Oh, yeah.
We was proud of our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't have much, we knew that the 100s, them wild hundreds gonna have your back.
Yeah.
Them my boys.
Yeah, little family.
Them low end, them cats on the low end. Man, I love you, Liberty. To this day, they still talking to me. I love you, Liberty, man. You shine. You got the light shining on our neighborhood. You got that spotlight put on our neighborhood because of what you was doing on that court.
Yeah,
I appreciate
made people go like, "Hey, where's he? Where's this from? Where's he from?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Somebody had a question. I try to go back to it. Okay, here you go.
If I ask you fellas who are the top 5 current college coaches in the game, in no order, you would say who? I always have to say the coach over at Gonzaga. I don't know his name. He's been stellar over there. I would have to say.
He said 5 current though. He said current, right? So that means what they're doing probably right now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, top college coaches right now. So the coach at Gonzaga.
Yeah.
You think he's tough?
Yeah, I like him.
I would say Hubert Davis over in North Carolina is tough.
Okay.
The coach over at Purdue, I don't know his name, but he got them rolling over there. I don't know their names.
Matt Painter.
And shoot, I don't know who else you got there.
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you this. I look at coaches that puts their imprint on programs early. And I got to give it up to my man at Missouri, Gates.
Oh, Gates got them over there rolling. I forgot to mention Gates. Gates got Missouri over there rolling.
From Missouri. I'm throwing him out there. I'm putting him out there as one of my coaches, man, that I would love to play for. And you can see and hear how he's changing that culture.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting his footprints on that program. So that would be one for me. You got to throw in Bill Self. I mean,
you got to.
He did it. I mean, he put his stamp of approval on Kansas. He won. I don't know how many Big 12 championships.
SEC, he running it off, man.
Who?
He ran it off
At the Big 12, in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big 12. he done won so many. So that's 2. I do like Gonzaga, coach. So that would be 3. And I got to throw my man down in Houston, Coach Sampson,
Oh, Samson, yeah. You're
4.
right.
4. So we have one more that we can put in there.
You threw Hubert Davis in there for North Carolina?
I
think
didn't
he did
throw
a
Hubert there.
fantastic job.
That's your guy. That's not my guy.
Hey, your boy Bill Self got 14 straight regular season Big 12 conference titles, 16 overall, and 9 league tournament championships.
Yeah. So
14 straight?
So you throw that guy in there. I'm trying to think of one more that I love, not just love watching, but love how he teaches the game to the young generation. And I can't think of his name.
Whenever you watch them play, you know they're gonna come out there and give it up.
They're gonna play hard, man, and that's all you want. Hamilton, there you go. That's what I was thinking. Hamilton,
Florida State.
Florida State.
Right.
He doesn't go for 5-star players. I mean, he gets them, but he wants to help them become men one day. So that's my 5. That's my 5. That's my 5.
So what's the future?
So Ron said my Tom Izzo might be the best X and O coach. Can't leave him out. I like Izzo. I like Izzo, but I think
Izzo
is more of to me, defense. He's a defense coach. Look what your girl said, Bob. She joined us late.
Hey, Pooh, what up? You know what? We've been working.
Holidays.
We'll be back on. Yeah, we'll be back on.
The holidays as taking us away from those Wednesdays. Just the last 2, like last Wednesday and this Wednesday. But the following Wednesday of next week, we back. We wanted to jump on now because we both had some time to jump on, and now we running up. we doing it again, running off at the mouth, but loving it. So who is this? What are you talking about?
Kemba Walker, Mateen Cleave, Tyus Jones, Trey Burke put these cats in order based on their game in college.
Okay.
All
winners, definitely all winners. And I think 3 of them are national champions.
Yeah,
3 of those guys are national champions, if I'm not mistaken. Did Tyus Jones win the championship? I don't know if he did that too.
Yeah, they won that year.
With him, right? So that's what I said 3. And Trey Burke, he was with Michigan. They got to the finals. So that's what I'm saying. They all were winning point guards, scoring point guards. Mateen Cleaves was definitely a leader, a floor general.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker will definitely give you a bucket whenever you needed one out of him. He had one of those fast crossovers and stop on a dime and then pull up on you.
Super low.
Man, and Tyus Jones, he had a very high IQ. Think about it. He had a very high IQ, knew exactly how to play, and he's doing it. He's showing it now in the pros with backing up John Moran over there in Memphis.
Let me ask you something. We got another question on there?
No, go ahead.
What you think about Luka?
Man, Luka is
cold, lady.
He a bad boy.
Hey, look, I done got past all the other stuff. I've been watching them hesitations, all that slow stuff he doing. He is literally out there playing with them.
He can get a bucket anytime he wants to. You have to double team him to get the ball out of his hands. You have to. And it seems it's teams that are starting to do that but now I think Hardaway is starting to get in a good rhythm now too. So it's going to be hard to double team because you're going to leave him open for those, 3 balls.
Yeah, man. I can't say.
But Luka is the real deal. Now I didn't see that game with Spider yesterday, when he hit 71 points.
Yeah, it was an OT. Yeah, I was
I'm
watching
saying,
it.
was he like dominating that game though, Bob?
Getting rebounds, going straight to the basket, blowing by people, strong man style. Yes, unstoppable, relentless. I'm going to the basket and ain't nobody stopping me.
Right.
I know this is the college edition, but the Warriors been balling 5 straight games without Curry, Wiggins, Klay Thompson. Been balling his ass off. 54 last night. So did this help Warriors get back right? Hey, Dion Hoop Page, man, I know I was on a natural high when I had the Lakers, and hey, I was hoping that would have happened. Hold on, put that down. Hold on, let me see. I go, okay, my boss had blocked that. Yeah, hey, you know what, Dion? No, man, you know what? My secondary team, I'm gonna have to go with them damn Golden State Warriors.
Oh no!
I don't know, man. They just look better. Don't nobody look like they can beat them. And you know, John Moran and them, they keep barking up a tree. They steady talking trash to them boys. Don't they know to not talk trash to this team?
Oh, Bob, man, you're gonna have another team next week.
No, I think Golden State is gonna do it again. And like I was explaining to my son, and they talking about, man, they can replace John Moran. They can replace Draymond Green very easily. I said, boy, you don't replace a Draymond Green very easily. You know what I'm saying? What do you say?
No, Draymond Green is the perfect fit though for him. Think about this. You got a quiet Steph Curry, a quiet Klay Thompson. You got a guy like a Draymond Green who can voice his opinion amongst them and still be okay. They're not going to be like, no, you don't come at me like that.
Right.
He can get in them. He can get on them and tell them, you know what, man, you ain't playing like Steph Curry, or you ain't shooting the ball like Klay. You know, we're going to make sure I get you the ball because I'm the point forward where you want it.
Right.
Think about it.
That's what he is.
He's at the perfect team.
Yeah.
To be that. And then you throw Wiggins in, another quiet guy, right?
Yeah.
Who you think about this. Some organizations build their team just like that, right? They think about the characters, they think about what kind of players they can be in the system. Golden State system is perfect for all those guys that we just mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. It's up for grabs. But how they beating teams without Curry and Wiggins, though, I'm shocked. Kuminga been balling. What's the white cat's name from Villanova? Oh, you talking about my man. You talking about my man. We was just talking about him last night. Yeah, the one that had 35 in the national championship game and got straight to the league from that.
Yeah.
Damn. We were just talking about that because we were watching them last night, me and my boys.
He nice, though.
He tough, though.
Yeah, he nice. He's
tough.
He nice. But yeah, back to the college, and then we can wrap it up, Bob. I know we got something to do as far as just getting time for dinner.
I know we was talking about college, and what do you think needs to happen for college to get back strong again as far as coaches? And you can close it out, Liv, from your perspective and your experience. What do these colleges and coaches need to do for this thing to get back? Because running to the transfer portals don't seem to be working.
Right. But that's not going to go nowhere, right? So we got to add that into the equation now. We got to put that into how the coaches have to really observe and think about who they need to be a part of their program. Are you going to be here? Are you going to be here for 1 year? Are you going to be here for 2 years? You got to start looking and recruiting players like that, because everybody doesn't want to be a one and done type player. Some kids actually want to stay 4 years and get an education and go on to be somebody else because they know may not have that to make it into the NBA. But I do know if I get my degree and network and do things within this school setting, that I can become someone after I start playing basketball.
I got to stop you there then, Liv, because you told me, and I've heard other people say that the scholarships are not guaranteed. They're from year to year. So how do you maneuver around that?
If you're not an a-hole, your scholarship will not get taken away from you.
Okay.
Most likely it will not get taken away. Because if they offered you that at the beginning, they saw something in you. You have to do something real crazy for them to take your scholarship away from you.
Oh,
think about that.
Okay.
Have you seen somebody get theirs taken away yet?
No.
Not really, right? And if you did, it's because they got in some trouble. They got in some trouble, and they had
Right.
to leave the school and transfer,
Right.
right? So it's not that. So I would think about this if I was a college coach, I'm gonna make sure I do my homework. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not just going after ranked kids. I'm going after the kids that fits what I'm all about. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
a tough-minded coach, I need to go find tough-minded kids, right?
Right.
So those are the things that I would be looking at. I wouldn't go out. I would go to those EYBLs and those big events, but I'm not listening to no one but my coaching staff amongst us to talk about who we like, who we coming to see. Let's get
Right.
all 4 or 5 eyes on these kids that we're looking at. And then we come back to our headquarters
Right. And
and
talk
we
about
talk
which
about,
one
yeah,
which one we think we like the
I
most.
want, if I was the head coach and you was my assistant coach, I'm gonna say, Bob, I need you to write up a report on this kid, right? Because I need to, when we get back to the office on Monday, we all need to sit down and start talking and putting our notes together, what we saw and what we like. And then
And
also what we didn't like about that kid.
that's why I was going to ask you, what you a recruiter, what's the absolute no-go for you if you're recruiting a kid? What's the
Attitude,
biggest turn off? Attitude.
attitude, his body language.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things I would look at. If I was recruiting a kid, those are the 2 things I'm looking at.
You
His
watching
attitude,
how his mood go when the game ain't going right
man.
and all of
When you
that.
miss a shot, or you dropping your head, or you
Right.
getting back on defense.
Right. Are you the my fault type kid, or you gonna keep
Come
saying my fault, my
on,
fault, my
man.
fault, my fault?
How you treat your players, how you treat your teammates.
Right.
Those are the type of things that I'll be looking for as I was a coach. Oh
Mm.
man, somebody's talking about you, Rob, on here. They must know you.
Robert, you've been watching Surviving R. Kelly Part 3. It's another show tonight on Lifetime. I only ask because you love R. Kelly. You know what, Moni, where you crazy? It's funny, man. It's like you must have a camera in the crib because I was watching Surviving R. Kelly during the Christmas time. I was just watching it just to rewatch it because I know it came up in the news, about him being acquitted in Chicago, and there's been some stuff swirling that the district attorney, whatever they talking about, he's supposed to get out. I don't know. All I know is I've been kind of following the case because
Right.
yeah, but there's something else coming on tonight. I'm gonna have to check that out on Lifetime. I'm gonna have to check that out. Moni, hey Moni, do you like Kells? You one of the people? It's just music for me. So I'm not like, oh man, I'm telling you, that's my boy, or none of that. It's just the music. What about you, Leah? It's the music for you, right?
Yeah. She keeps
One more R.
feeling
Kelly
things up.
thing. Forgive me. Remember in the ESPN Bill Wilson doc, R. Kelly was on there saying he was at the graveyard singing "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday" at the graveyard when they was gonna lay him to rest. Is that true? Was R. Kelly around back then? I'm sure he wasn't R. Kelly the star. I asked both of them questions. Well, you know what? Your boy Robert Reed, Coach Rob, that coached you and Ben Wilson, he was down there with that. With R. Kelly and them down there. I saw him on the documentary. So nobody has said that he wasn't a part of that. So I can't speak to whether or not he was or was not. But nobody has called him on it. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't comment on things that I really don't know about. So
right.
we just keep it at that, right? Yeah, man, another good one though, Bob. We jumped on, we hopped on because we wanted to talk about that. And we appreciate everybody who tuning in and watching us on this special edition that we came out with today. Appreciate you. So Moni, we give a shout out, Bob, and then we gonna shut it down.
Okay, let me go to the stream because I've been moving around.
I see my man Bo Rap. He tuned in. Bo Rap, my main man. Shout out to Bo Rap.
I got so many streams. I see that.
Terry, my man Terry. What up? Appreciate you.
Let's see.
Don Hoon, my man. Drew Jarvis.
There it is. Okay, Moni said, any upcoming guests? Man, you know what? I'm going to go and claim it. I'm going to put it out there. Liv ain't saying it. I'm going to say it. Me and Liv, we finna have them boys. We're going to have Q Rich and Darius Miles on All Ball Chicago real soon. Watch what I tell you from the Knuckleheads podcast. We're going to have them on here real soon. Watch what I tell you. And we're going to end up having your boy, we're going to have Mateen Cleaves. Right now, Liv working on the flying the line, not getting that whole team on here. Man, it's going to be hot and heavy this year, 2023, man. We might even be able to get the original 23 on here, baby.
We got some things in the works for sure. I got Pooh Richardson, UCLA finest, one of the best point guards to come out of UCLA to me, right? He will be joining us sometime in the new year. Out of Philadelphia, that's where he's born and raised, Philadelphia. Pooh Richardson, been talking to him. That's my guy, of course. When I visited UCLA, I remember him in his bed, and he was like, "Man," they woke him up. He jumped out of the bed. He's like, "Man, what's up, Liberty?" Whoa. He said, "You come here, man. I'm gonna give you the ball just like I was giving it to Reggie." Reggie Miller. That's what I'm talking about, Reggie Miller. So Pooh Richardson, a good friend of mine, man. We trying to get Pooh Richardson on. I know a lot of people would love to hear from him. He's one of those point guards that pass first, but he can score. He gets you some buckets, but he will pass first. Sean Dockery, we would love to get him come on. I talked to him a little bit last year. We was trying to get him, but the schedules just didn't work out because, he's doing his thing down in San Antonio with his basketball academy. So it's hard to get Sean on. So if we can get him on, we definitely going to get Sean on, but it definitely will be a good one because a lot of people they forget Sean Dockery was a walking bucket.
And I always wonder, man. I know he was at Julian right up the way from me. Like, whatever happened to Neff, man? Like, what happened to him, man, when he went to Duke? Was he told to just be a defender, and he was a prolific scorer in high school?
I don't know, Bob. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't. If I was at Duke, I can actually tell you. But if you look at it, it looks like Coach K wanted him to be more of a defensive player and a facilitator. All right.
Who was in the backcourt with him?
But he also did that with Duhan too. People don't know Duhan was a prolific scorer in high school. So think about it. Yeah, Lloyd Daniels will be a good one. Lloyd Daniels, again, he has programs, and so it's hard to get people on at that time. If we can do that. Will Bynum, we talked to Will, and I don't know if Will wants to come on at this time. So it's hard to get these guys to commit, and try to come on, but we gonna get them.
Oh, absolutely. We got
Hoop School. We appreciate you too, my brother. We doing the shout outs, and then we're gonna get out of here. Frederick Blue, my man. Appreciate you. Ron, appreciate you. Nothing but love, and continue to support us, guys, and we'll continue to put out with great guests on our show to tell their story. That's all we all about.
That's all it is, man.
And Happy New Year to all of our listeners too. Happy New Year, 2023. I hope 2023 brings happiness, success, and a lot of bread.
Extra bread. Extra on the bread.
Extra on the bread. That's what we all want. That's what you all should get. But you also got to work for it. Don't let anybody just give it to you. Work for it.
A man have not because he acts not.
Say it again.
What you want, man. But this was a good edition. And we had the legend. We had the veteran. We had the parade All-American.
Oh.
Your host, Marcus Liberty. Was it any day that you didn't win?
Man, Bob, I can honestly say, man, my life has been good. I had some bad days. I had some not so good days. I had some downfalls. But you know what? I'm still here today. Man, so I can't complain. I can't complain, man. I met a lot of wonderful people, those who played basketball with me or I played against, met them, some people off the court that didn't have nothing to do with basketball, people from my neighborhood that showed me mad love. Make sure y'all go get those hoodies too, man, from my man Lefty B. Boyd. I am Chicago basketball.
You got one? You got
Look it
one
up.
over? You got one with
I
you
got
right
one
now?
coming. Mine is coming. You know, we got to get it tall, so because I'm tall, Bob. I can't wear those little ones, man. I got to get a tall one. So we got one of those coming. But make sure you inbox Lefty B-Boy. I am Chicago basketball. That's the social media page. You'll see it. You got a nice little hoodie of your boy. He paying homage, man. He wanted to pay some homage to your boy. Show me some love, man. So I can't do nothing but appreciate that, man, for doing this.
I'm gonna definitely slide out there on him, man. I'm gonna try to get out this weekend. I'm gonna give me one of them joints.
And don't forget to pick up the culture device from my man Bobby. He letting them go now for $9.95.
Come on, get it, man. That'll get it there.
I threw that price out there. I don't want to throw that price out there. That ain't his price, man. So make sure you inbox Bobby Reed to get that.
It's all good,
device,
man. And it's been a pleasure, man. We got through 2022, 2023. We're gonna do it again, man.
Facts. Bigger and better.
You know it.
All right. I'll holler,
We
man.
up out of here.
You
Peace.
be good, man. Stay out of trouble.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching.